See the smoke? Look at this. Look, hear it. South Korea and North Korea are shooting at each other in front of our face. Hey, doing. We're in Seoul, South Korea, cuz. We're going right now to the DMZ, the Demilitarized Zone. This zone was created at the end of the Korean War. There's no military presence. Sort of like a buffer zone that was created between North and South Korea in 1953. It's about 250 kilometers across the country, and it's about 4 kilometers deep. A lot of people think it's just like a little line, or it's like here, like it's a little road that you cross, but it's actually about 4 kilometers across the demilitarized zone, and you can get access to it. So yeah, groups go every morning. You got to book in a group to get there. You got to pay, obviously. If you're wondering why it's so dead in a city of over 10 million people, it's because it's 6:30 in the morning. And it's probably why I look half dead too. I need a coffee. I literally just got up, shower, and got ready for this. I don't know 100% what going into the DMZ entails. I don't know 100% what we're doing. I've just been told to make sure you bring passports and identification because you get checked by military pretty thoroughly before going in. Only a certain limit of people are allowed in each day. There's a few things I do know. There's some significant peace park that we're going to. There's a tunnel that was built by the North Koreans, and it was an invasion tunnel. Like a really long tunnel they built, popped out of. It's part of trying to invade South Korea. We're allowed access in it, so we're gonna go in that tunnel apparently, and we're gonna get as close as we can from a viewing deck to North Korea. From that deck, you can see North Koreans in the village. Like you can see functioning North Korean villages working and stuff. It's about an hour's drive north of here, north of Seoul. I was just looking at it on the map how far it was. Just under an hour's drive. That tower, there's like their observation tower in the middle of the city. It's built up on a mountain. Alright, I'm hopping on one of these buses here at this station. This is Myeongdong station. Well, this is where I'm jumping on the bus and the tour guide's gonna meet us here. But I'm about 40 minutes early. So I might get a coffee right there, cuz. How good's that? Perfect timing. Sorry, I need to wake up, bro. I should have done the intro here after a coffee, eh? This is where I'm meeting them, actually. Myeongdong station, exit 9. Alright, that's my bus there. We're off, we're going. Had a coffee, had a Gatorade, I'm off, brah, let's go. DMZ, lad. It's a mad bus, lad, eh? It's just a bus out there. Look at the tapestry, lad. Is that what you call it? She's saying we've got to fill out a form to enter the DMZ.
I'm going to hand you guys this name tag when you get it from me.
This is sort of like downtown Seoul, Myeongdong it's called, the business district. That's where we boarded.
Please wear the seatbelt because we will be going on highway from now, okay?
Alright, yeah, it's 50 minutes away, she just said.
So there will be some rules that we need to follow strictly. One of them is we need to send the information about 2 hours before we arrive there, okay? That's
she was
why
just saying that the DMZ zone on this side is operated by the Korean, the United States and the United Nations Army. And that's who's checking our passports. Someone must have broken. Oh, we can see we're coming up to some mountain range, which is just outside the city. I could see it from my window at my hotel. We're coming up to it now.
Korea, right? And that is when they reopen, they make sure that we are not visiting the original observatory because now that we soldier to run away from the South Korean DMZ to the North Korea during the tour, and we have to wear the name tag all the time until I correct from you, okay? That is the first rule. Second, being on time is extremely...
Alright, so the only places we can't film, like you heard her say, is when the soldiers get on the bus and in the third tunnel, but we can film everywhere else. But apparently this first place we're going, the suspension bridge, has nothing to do with the DMZ. In know what's the funniest thing she said? The Demilitarised Zone is the most militarised zone in the world. How does that make sense, lad? Alright, looks like we're about halfway there. See, it's up there where that red line is. So like another 20 minutes to go, I think. Alright, we got off the bus here. This lake that we stop at is essentially just a pit stop. It's just a break on the journey on the way there. An opportunity to get something to eat, which I want breakfast actually. She was saying on the bus, gave us a brief history of the war. She was a little bit, she was pretty fair, but a little bit propagandary on her side. Like she was saying things like the North Koreans are weird and they got weird ways. She was chucking in little things like that I picked up on. But in general, she was just giving us a breakdown of how the war started and about the family, Kim Jong-il and all that. But yeah, one of the funny things she said is that it's the demilitarized zone, but it is the most militarized place on earth. Our spin out's that. It's operated by Americans, South Koreans, and the United Nations, and North Koreans on their side, obviously. But we're gonna get to a point after here, after this break, the military jump on the bus, and that's one of the points that we're not supposed to film. I'll try my best to get a little shot. And then apparently in the third invasion tunnel, we can't film there either. But everywhere else we're sweet. I won't bore you with filming on the bus, her 15-minute talks, goes on. And you can't really hear it properly anyway, it comes through speakers. So whenever we jump off, I'll just reiterate what was said. All right, mad. Actually want some of these. Grapefruit aid iced, tangerine, citrus tea. I'll get that, lad. Grapefruit ice, or one of them. We'll give this lake a little sus, even though it's got nothing to do with her. She goes, we're going to stop at the suspension bridge that crosses a beautiful lake. She goes, I wish it had something to do with the demilitarized zone or the war, but it doesn't, and I'm not going to pretend it does, but just get something to eat and enjoy it. It is hectic. It is hectic. Wow, look. See-through floor, and I'm not even scared, cuz. I'm scared of most bridges. And when I went to Portugal and I couldn't cross the bridge in Porto. Yeah, we're here right now. So sort of like, see that lake there? We're actually still pretty far from the DMZ. It's right up there, near that water. What a random place to stop, eh? Just some random lake. It's nice, but it's random, bro. Where's my grapefruit iced tea, mate? Reckon I can rock them, lad? No one's watching? It's not budging. You could probably get it rocking, but not from this point. It's too close to the fixed point. A third of the way down, I reckon. 1/3 on each side. But look how secure it is. Look at that, cuz. Look at the cables, bro. 3 on each side. That's secured like a big car bridge, bro. The nature here is really beautiful, eh? It's really, really hot. I know it doesn't appear that way. It looks like overcast and it looks like we're in a like cool, it's so hot, bro. It's so hot. There, look, it's 9 in the morning, it's 29 Celsius. It just flicked over when I said it. The top today's 33. Oh, yum. Oh, full bitter grapefruit. That's mad though. I was just getting paranoid because when we jumped off the bus, she specified for us to all leave our stuff on the bus. And me just being paranoid, probably from the life that I'm from, I thought, that's it. They're searching our bags, they're stealing. You want me to tell you something, spin out? My luggage, my bag that I checked in, that I picked up off the airport, it got broken into. Someone broke, from when I checked in at Sydney and then collected it at here, you know at the top of your bag there's those little locks and then you put your coat in? Someone snapped them, like put a screwdriver in both of them. You can see the plastic's cracked and now it doesn't lock. I've never had that done before. All the places I've been, I've never had my my suitcase that I checked in, broken into and searched. They didn't take, I had a backpack, it had all my cameras, money, laptops, all of that stuff. All I had in that bag was like shoes, clothes and toiletries, so nothing got taken, but they violently broke into my bag, cuz. Yeah, bro. So it's either happened at Sydney, but I check in at Sydney like every time I go somewhere, or it happened here at South Korea. I didn't expect that. It's not a place you expect that, you know? All right, back on the bus, bro. We're going there now, lad. Let's go. She's telling us that when we're in the third tunnel, we're going to be 100 meters away from North Korea, and that's the closest you can get. This is a little town up near the border. We're only 10 minutes from the border now.
It's North Korea. This is the reason why we have soldiers. You see the soldiers in the guard post, they are here because of the boundary.
Look how much barbed wire there is.
Going. It is only 50 meters away is North Korea. I'll take a lot of pictures. I know some of you must be hungry, but after the observatory, we will go for lunch.
First stop, the observatory deck. How much did the reality kick in when we seen those wires, cuz? Like that was the line, like. And how intense the barbed wires were, bro. When I seen that, I was like, wow, here we go. Bro, you know what was the funniest shit? Just before we come up this hill, on the way, you see all those stores down there and sort of like cafes and that. The amount that they've capitalized the tourism of the DMZ. There was like the DMZ cafe and barbecue DMZ. It's like you walk in one of those places and order a DMZ burger, you know what I mean? It was just hilarious, lad. Tired, like, look at this. All right, so this is the observatory deck, and everything you see from this point on is North Korea. Bro, look at this. This big thing, big binoculars, digital.
Because of this river that flows down from North Korea. For civilians, we can never go. But from here, we are now about 400 meters away from the borderline, and the villages that we can see over there is the rural village, where you will be able to see farmers.
That's crazy. So at this point, the border runs straight through the middle of the river. Bro, look when you look back this way. Look at that, guys. Bro, what's that? There is like legitimately a million skyscrapers. That's not even Seoul, cuz. That city is called Paju. P-A-J-U. Bro, what's that? It's like they just built that just to flex to them. Like, we look this way and we see a village. We look this way and you see 7 million skyscrapers. They're probably all empty. People in here are watching a movie, I think. Oh, here's a little map they've built of it. We're here. Where's that? How mad are these things though, eh? How mad are they, cuz? So mad. It even went further, cuz. Look at that. This is that city on South Korea's side. That's outrageous, bro. That is outrageous. We got to the point where we meet military and get our passports and that checked. So we're still at the part where we're just observing North Korea. Don't think we've entered anything volatile at this point. Little tiles, little works of art. Looks like little drawings from kids and writing and stuff. Thousands of them. Look at them. These are some photos of the people. Bro, she was giving a rundown on a couple of the places we're going, just a history of it, and one of the places, bro, it was like the story was savage. It's like there was a time from 1993 to 2010, a 17-year period where family members at one point used to cross over the border, but then they made the border a huge 4-kilometer minefield. 2 kilometers on each side is full of mines. So now families can't reconnect, and there's like hundreds of thousands or millions of people that their family's on the other side. And they used to have this treaty. They had a designated area, and if you and your family from North Korea and your family from South Korea, you could meet up. I'm talking mothers and sons. You could meet up and spend a night together with your family members. They'd have a place, you're allowed to meet your family, and you're allowed to spend one night together, and then you have to say goodbye to them, and that's the whack. It's like, if you can connect, I'll give you one night. Doesn't matter how closely related you are, you got one night. Imagine that situation. Like, imagine you haven't seen your mom or your brother or your sister or your husband or your wife or something like that for 10 years. And then they're like, you've linked it up and they let you spend one night together. Bro, and anyway, so like, that's savage enough. But it came to an end because North Korea sent a torpedo and killed 43 of their navy. So in 2010, they ended it. But when they ended it, they made a TV show. Listen to this. They made a TV show. And what the TV show was it was like a reality TV show. And it was a way that if you're in North Korea or South Korea and you can't see your family, it was a way to get on there and like send messages to your family. And so people in North Korea would tune in on this TV show, and that was the only chance you had left ever of seeing your family. You would just watch it hoping like, oh, did my brother go there, or did my wife make it to the show? Does she have a message for me? Fuck, lad, in the middle of that sentence, I just started crying, bruh. Yeah, you know I get upset easy, cuz you remember Cambodia. Anyway, in the middle of that sentence, I had to save myself from crying. So, bruh, imagine watching that show. I'll get back to it in a minute. Yeah, imagine being a family member and like having to just watch that show and pray that your family has a message for you. So when they launched the idea of that show, there was a line, unexpected, she said, so big, it went down from the TV studio, blocks and blocks and blocks. And they done an uninterrupted live broadcast that went for 183 days. 183 days the live broadcast went, until everybody that wanted to send a message to their family sent it. And that's the whack. That was 2010 that they done that. And since then, that doesn't even happen. And there's no crossing, there's no... So like, if you think of the context of where we are now as some type of historical thing, or like where it's just a thing that existed 50 years ago or 30 years ago, it doesn't, cuz like, from everything she's saying is that right now is as bad as it has ever been, and it's as volatile and it's as serious and it's as much a war right now as it has ever been since 1953, when the fighting officially ended and that this border that you see here was drawn. And to emphasize on top of that, another thing she said, how serious it still is. Like, we are in a very serious position right here. Not only is it the most militarized place on earth, but this border was closed too. It only just reopened. This whole tour that we're doing now, even the ability to approach the border, only reopened 2 weeks ago. It was closed for 3.5 weeks. This is just last month. It was closed for 3.5 weeks. Listen to this, because North Korea, this is her allegation, North Korea were filling up hot air balloons up to 60 a day with human waste, sending them into the sky, flying them all over here and just exploding them in the sky. Guys, it sounds funny, cuz, but this is life here, bro. So they started now, they have to shoot them down because they think it's a danger, and so they closed this access to this DMZ zone and any associated tour like we're on. They just reopened it 2 weeks ago, yeah. So we're lucky to even be here. And at any time, even when I was booking this tour, at any time, tours will get cancelled, and like even halfway through tours, an alarm will go off and you all have to go back on the bus. It's craziness, bro. It's craziness. Can you see the barbed wire fence running through there? It's just craziness, bro. It's just so stupid, bro. Look at this theatre I walk past, bro. How creepy is this? I'm the only person in here. That's creepy, lad. Cause there were some explosions just then. Scared the out of me. What was that, cuz? That legitimately scared me, cuz. There was like explosions out there. That was crazy, cuz. And there's all smoke. I'll show you. Let me go out here where there's less people. Look, look, look. See the smoke? Look at this. Look, hear it? Boom. You hear that? From their side, it's like puffs of smoke and explosions. Bro, it was like bang, 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 like 3 big explosions. And I didn't have the camera on, but lucky we caught that last one. I spun when I first heard them, bro. Not that glass building's gonna do anything. Hear them? Hear the explosions? Cause they're shooting each other. Bro, they're shooting at each other. Those shots are coming from our side now. Bro, they are, South Korea and North Korea are shooting at each other in front of our face. Like, I don't know what's going on, but altogether 4 big explosions coming from over there where that orange smoke's in the air, and now there's just what sounds like little gunshots coming from our side. Alright, bro, let's go to the next place, lad. I'm done with this little observatory, bro. Now my phone just got overridden with a public safety alert that came through just now. Like a government public safety alert. And it's written in Korean and I don't know what it says. You know how the government can send alerts like and override your no notifications? They just done that. Public safety alert now. I want you to see this. I don't know if you can see it because of the light, but I want you to know so I'm not lying. Look. Public safety alert now. I don't know, everyone's acting casual, so I'm just going to continue on with my video. I'm not going to lie, bruh. I've played too much Call of Duty than to just stand here still. At least if I strafe left and right, then I've got to, you know, if they're popping off sniper shots, lad, I'm not a still target. Bro, you know, for a second, I was shook, lad. Like, you know when you get like that, like, what's happening, cuz? And then you're like left shook? Cuz, tell me if you're in a demilitarized zone, you hear explosions. Come on, brother. All right, look, I overheard, everyone's pretty casual. Anyone that speaks English is like, what are these explosions? Where do we go? I overheard one English speaker, I don't know if she was making it up, but she was saying, it's probably military exercises, they do that. And it's like, all right, it makes sense. It makes sense. So if that's the case, let's just assume, for peace of mind, they're doing military exercises. Is that what they do? So they just stand here every day, bridging up to each other for 70 years now. Like, boom, boom, explode on this side, and the South Korean lads are like, yeah, explosions, listen to my gun, da 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 da. And they're like, yeah, what a gun. Listen to this. Boom. I don't know, cuz. It's not even funny. It's just crazy, bro. Just crazy, lad. She just said she's going to tell us about the explosion.
So I was just talking to the observatory guy. I think this place will be shut down if there's going to be one more explosion because it was so sudden. So I think it's going to be on your news within an hour about this, okay?
It's going to be on the news in an hour. They're shutting it down.
Every day. So,
alright, so it's actually a pretty serious matter. We're going somewhere to stay for an hour and we can eat there. And they're going to assess what we do from there. They said there's a chance that if that was the end of the provocations that we can continue, but it depends, but it gets decided in the government, so it might end at us eating in a minute, or we might make it the rest of the way through past the military. All right, we've come into this like tourist attraction place. Look, there's even a pirate ship upside down. Look, there's rides. It's all empty, but we're gonna eat here for an hour, and they're gonna talk to the military to see if it's still safe to proceed, and if it is, we're going through the checkpoint. So we're here for an hour. There's all the military here. How crazy is it that this is a theme park? DMZ theme park, lad.
You're going to see the 3 Chinese characters, and that is where the separated family members are doing the bowing down performance. And this statue is about the separated families dispersed.
I'll tell you the saddest thing about everything that she just said. So there's things to represent, like she said, families being separated. This was the last train going into North Korea. And at one time, this railroad, think about this railroad here was one long direct railroad to Lisbon, Portugal. From South Korea to Lisbon, Portugal. It was a railroad that connected the whole way. But it was blown up, and the blown up train's down here. But this is the train. This is the actual train that was blown up. The last train to connect the two places. Look at that, cuz. Look at that, lad. That's crazy. Cuz, these are mad, bro. All jokes aside, that's hectic. These are mad side bags, lad. Look at that. See these statues? This is the saddest you'll ever hear. These are called comfort women. Let me tell you about that statue, those comfort women, and what that means. Alright, these statues are here for the memory of what they call comfort women, but in Korea, by law, they changed the name from comfort women to sex slaves. When the Japanese took over here, the Japanese before World War II, before they were bombed at Hiroshima and Nagasaki, they occupied Korea for 40 years, and also other places in Southeast Asia, the Philippines, Taiwan, Thailand, actually a lot. But the Japanese military, they thought that, how putrid is this? They think that in time of war, they're allowed to have comfort women, essentially sex slaves. So that's their right. They can have sex slaves because it's war. So what they done was they got comfort women, and obviously the Korean government changed the law because that sounds too nice, and that's not what it was. They were not comfort women. They were R-word victims. I have to say it like that because of YouTube, I think. They were essentially sex slaves. So they changed the law. Here, you're not allowed to refer to them as comfort women anymore. And they took these comfort women from those 4 countries, and they took from here, specifically from South Korea, 200,000 women aged between 13 and 23 years old, so teenagers. They took 200,000 girls from here, shipped them off, most of them to never be seen again. They put them all to live in 2 meter by 2 meter boxes up wherever the Japanese army would use them to comfort themselves. And each one of these girls had to comfort anywhere between 40 and 60 Japanese soldiers a day. And that's what, so if you ever hear the word comfort women, that's what they were. 200,000 girls were stolen for the Japanese army. That's just from here. It also happened Philippines and Thailand and stuff, but that's just from here. Those girls, a lot of those girls grew up in that for years and years until they were adults. The way they kept them in is around the little jails essentially that they built for them. They used to put broken glass and wire, and none of the girls were allowed to have shoes, so it was too painful to run away. 40 to 60 men a day would R-word these girls, cuz. Yeah, and you know what's even worse? After America bombed Hiroshima and Nagasaki and made the Japanese surrender, whatever girls were still left alive out of these Korean girls were made it back. I'm talking after 10, 20 years, made it back to see their families and society, and they were rejected by the South Korean, or the Korean people, because like, how crazy is that, cuz? Like, after all of that, you come back home and all your people reject you because they were ashamed of them. Stupid stuff. So then they become shadows. They were known as shadow people. So not after living their childhood like that, they came home and had to live out the rest of their life as shadow people that were like rejected in society. Like, people didn't want them in their restaurants, and you didn't want one working for you because somehow they're an embarrassment. And they knew who they were because on their forearms and on their neck, they had big Japanese tattoos that pretty much said comfort woman or sex slave. So they spent the rest of their lives just being hated by their own people because that happened to them. It's ridiculous. But anyway, out of all of those statues up there, I just thought that was the most significant one. I'm gonna find something to eat, and we gotta just listen out to see if we're allowed past the military point, or if that's the end of it. There's a food court here. Boneless fried chicken. Wow. Boneless fried chicken. Now we're getting that. This place looks hectic. I've got boneless fried chicken, hot chips, and a bottle of water. I'll get the water now, actually. Oh, the ride's going. Oh, there's no way in the world I would ride one of those things there that goes upside down. No way, cuz. This is my first food. This is breakfast. What's the time? 12 o'clock. Lunch. It was alright. I probably should have sussed out the rest of the places before I got that. Cold kimchi broth, pork cutlet. This is better. How silly am I? It was alright though. That's what I had on the plane on the way here. Bibimbap. That was mad, cuz. I want that. Bibimbap. Is that in here? It is. Bibimbap. It's full beautiful, bro. Oh, one bibimbap on the way, lad. Brother, a robot full rocked up to give me my food. Oh, I'm grabbing it. Relax, bro. You want to punch on or something? You ever been served by a robot, lad? That talks to you? Anyway, get my sauces, bro. Don't touch me. Hey, don't go without my sauce. Bye. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. It just cruised off singing jingle bells, lad. Well, anyway, bibimbap, cuz. That's how they roll in South Korea, lad. You get your soup served with a robot, lad, singing jingle bells. Kimchi, don't know what that is. Little soup. Oh, yum. Stuff's hectos, Adelaide. I'm telling you, this stuff's hectos. That's sort of like a chili sauce. This is sesame oil. And you just give it that big mixer-roux. And there she is, my bra. There she is. Nothing but the goodness. Off its nut, bro. I love this. 40 minutes ago, I thought I was about to be blown up by North Korean military shells. Shitting myself. 40 minutes later, I'm doing a food show. That's him, bro. That's Spanian's vlogging, lad. Let's go. Polished, lad. Polished. It's crazy. Bro, this is some dystopian shit, lad. I'm walking into an empty theme park on the demilitarized zone of South and North Korea. Look at this. This is where horror movies happen, lad. And there's like music playing and lights are on and not a person around. A super Viking. It's craziness. Look at it, bro. There's a functioning street food stand with a lady in it. Bumper cars. Kids swings all upside down. Look, they're all upside down. This is crazy, bro. It's almost like it's fake. Like it's just here for show, you know what I mean? How do you even ride it? Merry-go-round. I can't believe this is happening. There's a price. I might as well pay it. There's a lady. This is the only ride that has a lady sitting in it. Can I go on? Buy the ticket here, okay. One admission to the merry-go-round.
Okay, thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you, bye. I can't believe this, bro. Look around, lad. Thank you. Thank you. Cause this is...
해상문고를 찾아주셔서 감사합니다. 네, 이제
No way, she's full announcing it like I'm not the only person here. In a different language. In Korean, cuz. Wow. This is the craziest thing I've ever done. I'm in an abandoned theme park on the demilitarized zone between South and North Korea that has absolutely no one in it. Almost like a propaganda theme park. Oh. So I thought I'll ride the merry-go-round. Hello. That's over.
완전히 멈추면 천천히 나오시기 바랍니다.
Because the funniest thing is she knows it's just me in this whole theme park and she's still dropping the yarns like there's a bunch of Korean people here. Thank you. Bye. There's no way that thing goes upside down, cuz. That was a lifelong memory, bro. Straight out.
Yeah, in 5 minutes, we will go to the soldiers, meet the soldiers. When they ask you, what is your number?
3.
3.
Yep.
Can you double check your date of birth?
Yep. She said get our passports ready now. Let's go.
During this process, we cannot take any pictures, and everyone who's wearing sunglasses, you have to remove it. Okay? Village people who's living in the borderline. Actually, guys, we do. We have 148 people living built this bridge.
This is the military checkpoint.
North Korea so badly, and therefore, open up your passport. No pictures, no videos until I say it's okay, and just tell him your number. Okay?
All right. The military's on board.
So together,
we got checked by the military police
and soldiers, I think it's their lunchtime because United Nations soldiers are staying right here with the brighter uniform.
That's the UN.
So that's how they're controlling this place together. Okay, North Korean men. Okay, so
we are now in the DMZ, full on.
Risked their life to become South Korean citizens. When did we start? They wanted to tell us a lot of things, but the South Korean government officials. But in the meeting, Mr. 1 kilometers coming closer and closer. And Cadre is only 40 kilometers away. After 40 days, it's going to get top out in Korea. And now, we're making right turn to enter with them 2 kilometers. And this is the top.
Oh, that's the only entrance to North Korea. Look at it.
Do you see how it has been shut down with no light? Right? Because, you know,
see that?
you need not bring them.
Anything in.
No cell phone. No cameras, no cap or hat because everyone has to wear helmets, no bags, and no drink. So most of the things we cannot bring during this 20-25 minutes journey with no electronics. Okay? So what if it's just descendants of the sun truly dominate the
How crazy is this about the story of these tunnels? The South Korean economy overtook the North Korean economy because North Korea was always the rich one and they always thought that South Korea would remain poor. The leader of North Korea at the time, he freaked out. He goes like, how is their economy taking over ours? and they started to build tunnels from North Korea right down, heading towards Seoul, towards their city. Underground, elaborate, massive tunnels. They built 11. Until today, they've only found 4. 3 of them they found themselves, but this one they called the third tunnel. So they found the first, second, third, and fourth, obviously. The other 7 they haven't found still. The third tunnel, this was found. Listen to the story of this one. There was a defector from North Korea that ran away to South Korea, and they were common, but one of these defectors came into South Korea and refused to talk to any military, any police, and he said he's got important news and he wants to go on TV, or he wants to sit with the government officials of South Korea. They sat him with the government officials of South Korea, and he said right now, building underneath Seoul is a massive tunnel that comes all the way from North Korea, full of North Korean military, and they're about to invade. And they're like, what do you mean? Like, and he's like, bro, imagine hearing that. He said they're moving at like a ridiculously fast pace, and they're about 40 days away from the center of the city of Seoul. And they end up like having to, so once they took his word for it, they end up setting these water pipes. The way they found out where these tunnels were was they set PVC water piping every 2 meters, the entire border. And their theory was, because they were moving underground with dynamite really deep under the floor, the theory is that if the North Korean soldiers let off any dynamite underground, it would put pressure on the PVC piping and they would squirt out from the grass. And that happened. And one morning at 4 in the morning, it just squirted real high, and then they found that PVC pipe. They dug full deep in the floor, and they seen this huge tunnel that was coming 40 days away from Seoul. Like, imagine that. It has the capacity, this tunnel, this is the third tunnel here. It has the capacity to have 36,000 troops an hour pushed through it. So they were 40 days away from being full invaded by 36,000 troops an hour. Like, that's insane, cuz. But we can't film in here. I can't film in here. I don't know if you've heard what she said, but you're not allowed to take anything at all. No hats, no nothing but water and a watch. And the last girl a Colombian girl got caught sneaking a little GoPro in, much like I'm filming on, and she got fined, arrested, but then fined and had to pay 27,000 US to 3 different military groups. How crazy is that, cuz? So, and the fact that you can't even take anything, you can't take your phone, you can't take nothing. No hat, no glasses. So, you just can't come in. You just can't. Even if I could sneak you in, then what am I going to do? Put it on YouTube and then I'll get fined 27. There's US, these people are the allies of Australia. The allies of my country. So, I can't do it. That's unfortunate. Far out, cuz. Seeing that tunnel would have been sick. Alright, I'm gonna go down there, bro. I'll go down there. Apparently it's like 27 stories deep. And if you're claustrophobic, apparently you don't go down there, because even 5 foot something people have to duck down through a lot of the parts. So I don't know. I'm gonna fuel. I'll see how far down I can go. But yeah, I'll go down there and I'll just have to explain it to you, eh?
Is a place that bears the tragedy of the time in the past. On June 25, 1950, the invasion of South Korea by the North began with earth-shattering sounds of artillery. On November 15, 1974, an underground tunnel was discovered 1.2 kilometers south of the demarcation line. Within the tunnel, there were clear evidences of the tunnel being planned to be used to invade South Korea.
Nice little propaganda video. Alright, this is the entrance to the third tunnel, bro. United Nations flag, South Korean flag. Alright, we're gonna put everything inside the locker. Grab a locker, and then I've got to say goodbye to you for a bit. 111. My phone. and use.
Goodbye. Bye. Bye. Nah. I feel slack. I wish I could take it.
Lad. Lad. Bro, let me explain this to you. Let me get in the shade. Bro, wow, cuz. It's actually a spin out to look at, lad. It's like, if you imagine the weaving around, cuz it doesn't weave nothing. It's like as soon as you go through the metal detector, there's soldiers there, right? And then there's 2 cameras, and then there's the tunnel, lad. It is steep as, bro. It's like that. It's so steep that when you're walking down, you gotta stop yourself from staggering. Like you're walking and you're like, you gotta like lean back and, you know what I mean? But it's not stairs, it's just slant. So it's like a lot of pressure on your ankles. And bro, it is just straight. So it's like obviously a flat rubber walkway, and it's like rock in that shape, right? Like an arch, and there's support beams. But the thing is, cuz, it's just straight the whole way. Straight, bro. 27 stories. Like, it's so long and down that steep that it actually goes like from a tunnel, and it ends up being like that small. And there's like little people down there, and they're like 20 minutes walk away, and you can see them. There's just, it's like that, cuz. And when you get all the way to the bottom, it's like a curve, and then it changes. And that's where I stopped. It changes into like more of a like a smaller like crude tunnel that you got to like duck in. And it's just like, bro, laters, bro. Laters. What am I gonna see in there, cuz? Now I'm squishing through little tunnels. In the back of my head, I think if this falls, cuz, I get the worst death ever, being stuck in a tunnel for 2 weeks, starving and death. Yuck. So as soon as I went like that, I looked back up this tunnel. I swear, see how far that building is away? I swear it feels like that far, but steeper. What a mission. And you know this tunnel here, this 3rd tunnel, this is the tunnel that was closest to Seoul. Do you know when we're at that lookout when the explosions happened, and I seen that massive Korean city? And I'm like, the South Korean one? I go, look at the size. That city, the tunnel was there. Like the tunnel was going under that city. It's craziness, cuz. Just kick back in this garden until the rest of them come out. Half of them are out. You know, another little crazy thing she said about mandatory service. It used to be mandatory service 40 months in South Korea for any male, and 18 months for females. That's dropped to 18 months for males and 0 mandatory for females in South Korea. But what she was saying is, in North Korea, the mandatory service still until this day for males is 10 years, and for females is 8 years. So even as a 16-year-old girl, you must go with the military until you're 24, mandatory, and boys until they're 26. It's craziness, bro. And even until today, if you type up, like Google it, North Korean soldiers, because they're forced to walk through the landmine parts of the demilitarized zone, they die all the time. Like every week they're getting blown up until this day from landmines. And I guess just the thing that spins me out the most about what's hard, you know, for a lot of us to understand, but they're their own people, you know, the same people going to war with each other just through circumstances of politics and opinions and influences that can create the same people, the same nationality, family members, to just declare savage war. Even in the 3 years war, it's like 3.5 million people died. And is that unique around the world? No, it's not, right? This happens many places. You know, Sudan right now, Vietnam in the past, and like a lot of places, a lot of countries, their own people will go to war against themselves. But I'll tell you what's unique about this, cuz it is so volatile. 75 years later, the same people are still at war with each other and very hostile towards each other. It's like, bro, that's some strong politics, cuz, you know what I mean? Just, yeah, it's hard to think of another place where it's like that. And you've seen it, cuz, this is nothing. I'm not in with some military army sitting in the North Korean border. I'm not doing none of that, cuz. I'm coming on a tour that I paid for, that is provided by the South Koreans, that approaches you as close as you can get, that is, you know, sensible, right? And even on the day that we came, explosions happened, gunshots went off on the day. It's just like, this is life, cuz. It's outrageous. It's shocking, lad. Anyway, straight out. That's pretty much it. That's a tour. This was the last place that we were coming to, the third tunnel. Didn't know we couldn't film in it. That's unfortunate, but you didn't miss out on much, honestly. It's just exactly what I said, exactly what it is, just a straight line. That's it. The rest of them are gonna come out. We're gonna jump on the bus, go back through the military checkpoint, and we drive straight back to that train station they picked us up from. The journey straight back is 40 minutes. That's it, bruh. That's a tour of the DMZ zone of Korea. Love yous, laters.